So, hello and welcome everyone. A very good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Iqbal.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nizul. Great. अयो ही ना बात माधव ने कैमरा लगाया, पता लग रहा है कि मीटिंग हो रही है कुछ। कैमरा तो ऑन करो, ऐसे तो दिखते ही नहीं हो आप लोग।
सर कैमरा ऑन कर देते हैं सर।
गुड। मैंने कहा टेक्नोलॉजी का पूरा फायदा उठाना चाहिए। अश्विनी को भी दिखाई दे रहे हैं। मैं यही तो मजा आता है।
गुड आफ्टरनून सर। गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
गुड आफ्टरनून जी, गुड आफ्टरनून। गुड, ये हुई ना बात। Now it feels like a proper meeting, right? So good afternoon everyone, and welcome. This is just an informal discussion today on a hot topic, cryptocurrency. तो guys, cryptocurrency जो है ये hot topic क्यों है? आपको cryptocurrency में interest क्यों है?
सर जब ये ईमेल देखा ना मैंने, एक्चुअली क्या ना 2-3 दिन पहले ही ऑलरेडी वी वर जस्ट डिस्कसिंग अमंग आवर ट्रेड एसोसिएशन ये व्हाट्स द न्यू वे टू गो, बिकॉज एवरीवन इज टॉकिंग अबाउट बिटकॉइन एंड क्रिप्टो एंड यू नो हाउ इट इज द न्यू वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर एंड हाउ डॉलर विल नॉट बी द न्यू, जैसे आजकल हर चीज में डॉलर्स का पैगिंग है ना, तो आगे बात चल रही थी। तो एंड देन पीपल सेड नो इट इज नॉट लीगल इन इंडिया, एंड देन देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु आर सेइंग कि सब अब तो इंडिया में भी शायद आगे आगे लीगलाइज होगा, द बैंक्स विल स्टार्ट एक्सेप्टिंग इट. And then when I read your email on Sunday, I think I registered and I read Arpit's name. So since I have seen Arpit several times and I met him at the event जो आपने करा था, and Arpit को you know he is a very talented guy with your askthewiseguy.com. So I said यार ये लोग सही बताएंगे because I am not that knowledgeable about crypto. So of course we are doing investments, हम gold में भी करते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं. तो जो key points थे ना, जो आपका summary था, that was a very interesting point at least for me to understand कि भाई क्या है भाई. What is it? Is it really legal? Is there so much scope? Because the entire world is talking about it.
Right.
तो क्यूरोसिटी खत्म हो जाएगी आज कि करना है या नहीं करना है, और करना है कैसे करना है.
बिल्कुल ठीक बात है.
एक्चुअली कैसा लीगल टेंडर भी हो गया कई सारे देशों में, तो उसकी वजह से भी एक यू नो आई माइसेल्फ हैव इन्वेस्टेड, नो डाउट. तो मैंने 2020 में इन्वेस्ट कर दिया था थोड़ा बहुत पैसा, बट वो एक बोलता है ना कि वो एक ट्रेंड है आज की तारीख में. तो क्रिप्टो बहुत चल रहा है और कुछ तो क्रिप्टो ऐसा मार्केट भी इतना देते हैं कि आज ही पढ़ रहा था एक 2,37,000% प्रॉफिट दिया है एंड सो ऑन. तो वो एक वाइब है एक तो, और दूसरा चीज ये भी अंडरस्टैंड करना है कि आगे चल के इंडिया में क्या क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा इसके थ्रू.
राइट, एब्सोल्युटली. नहीं, मेरे भी दिमाग में इसी तरह के क्वेश्चंस थे बिकॉज आई एम सीइंग अ लॉट ऑफ एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स हैपनिंग नाउ. आजकल टीवी में भी ऐड आ रही हैं, कॉइन स्विच एंड क्या क्या अलग अलग प्लेटफॉर्म है, और फिर जहां पर भी हमें दिखता है ना कि ये कुछ अनयूजुअल रिटर्न्स प्रॉमिस हो रही है, तो वहीं पे थोड़ा सा जो है कान खड़े हो जाते हैं कि भाई ये हो क्या रहा है. क्योंकि ये क्रिप्टो करेंसी का जो ट्रेंड है ऐसे ही 2-3 साल पहले भी चला था, एंड लॉट ऑफ पीपल दे इन्वेस्टेड इन क्रिप्टो एंड दैट टाइम आई थिंक देयर वाज सम गवर्नमेंट मैंडेट कि ये इलीगल है, राइट. तो हमने कहा कि हम लोग पहले वेट एंड वॉच कर रहे थे, तो नाउ इट इज अ टाइम टू एक्चुअली इवैल्यूएट एंड लुक इनटू द डिटेल्स.
In fact, interestingly, this morning, I was just browsing through Instagram and I saw one ad. You know, with other Instagram pe post. So the Paytm CEO is saying that today every Tom, Dick, and Harry on motivational speaker on Instagram is promoting crypto just like soap and shampoo ki tarah bech rahe hain, who have no knowledge about that. So of course, I want to hear it from knowledgeable people because guys like Arpit, they know the stock market, they know the financials. So instead of a layman who's just a motivational speaker, because if I start talking about crypto, I have no knowledge. So it's better to come from the experts.
Right. So guys, not to worry, we will also be speaking in English. So right now people are just voicing their opinions about crypto. So welcome once again, and I'm pleased to welcome Arpit Arora. Arpit, you can switch on your camera now. So, hello everyone. Yeah, welcome Arpit. So I will just this is Arpit Arora, guys. So let me start by giving a brief introduction about Arpit. Okay, so how many of you already know Arpit? Please type me in the chat how many of you already know. Let me see कितने लोगों को तो already Arpit के बारे में पता है. Okay. Okay, the wise guy. So the wise guy is already pretty famous. Okay, great. So Arpit का introduction बड़ा simple सा है. He's my student. So Arpit, that's it. That is the introduction that I'm going to give.
ऑनर क्या हो सकता है?
So okay, great. So let me give you a little bit more detail, guys. So Arpit, is a specialist when it comes to personal finance and a coach on passive income. So a lot of us, we keep working hard for money. Okay, Arpit's area of specialty is the opposite: how to get money working for you. Okay, so instead of you working for money, how to make money work for you and earn while you sleep. So he's also received the award from Philip Kotler. He's also recently spoke at TEDx. He spent 7 years. He's done his education from London School of Commerce. He was 7 years. He was in London, and then he moved to India. And altogether, he has almost 13, 14 years of experience, and he's running 2 successful businesses in this in the field of financial research and financial coaching. He has helped over 200 plus entrepreneurs, including renowned businesses like Rathi Steel, Lakshita Fashion, MMG Group, and many more. And he's inspired over 10,000 people to systematize and upgrade their financial lives, to actually design their finances so that they can become independent and they say free from money worries. Right? Am I right, Arpit?
Absolutely, that's the big one.
Right. So Arpit believes that if you don't stop working for money, you will struggle all your life. So you must stop working for money and have money work for you. So welcome, Arpit.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev.
Thank you. So guys, before we begin, so I will give you the structure of the of today's talk. Okay. So I'll give you structure for today's talk. So there is some nice comments coming in for you, Arpit. This Karthik. And so I will be asking some main question that, I prepared for today's talk. So let me just ask those questions first. And then later on, let Arpit answer those questions. There are around 6 or 7 questions that I will ask. And once Arpit has answered those questions, then we can open the floor for questions from the audience. Is that okay with everyone? Please type okay if that is okay. Yeah. So you can just note down your questions, and currently I will not allow anyone to unmute. And once we throw the session open to all the participants, and you can of course unmute and ask a question. In the meanwhile, you can write down on a notepad. तो आप note कर लीजिएगा आपके कोई questions हैं और end of the session में आपके questions हम ले लेंगे, right? So good. Now let us begin. So very first question, Arpit, crypto क्या है simple language में? So what is crypto in simple language for people to understand what exactly is cryptocurrency? Okay, so we have heard about it a lot, but exactly what is it?
So to answer this question, मैं आपको एक statement में इस question को answer नहीं करूँगा, मैं एक story में इस question को answer करूँगा, because one, as humans we understand stories better. And two, we'll understand why crypto exists. Once we know why crypto exists, we will know what it is. So 2008, when the financial crisis happened, a lot of people were really upset, especially with the US government. Why? Because every single time a financial crisis happens, the US government or the federal government there, the treasury, they keep on printing more money. And this is something that is happening since 1984. 1984, where Nixon was the president back then. They decided they will move away from the gold standard to back up their currency. They will now move to the debt standard. Debt means udhar. So ये जो debt है, this udhar is simply not even printed anymore. This is just in numbers. They are creating debt out of thin air, and this debt ke against they're printing money. And every single time a financial crisis happens, they print more money. The more money they print, it goes into the liquidity of the system, and institutions and eventually individuals have more money. This enables the economy to boom again, and every single time a financial crisis happens, they infuse more money into the system, devalue their own currency. This is where the people of America got really upset. that why is it that every time a financial crisis happens, we not only lose money in investments, we also lose the money that we already have, the dollar we already have. Uski value that also goes down because more supply of money has been made, which means the value of the currency goes down. And this is not just a US phenomenon, it happens in India. I don't know if any of you noticed or not, 2020 crisis, same thing happened again. US government also printed more money, Indian government also printed more money. They didn't print, they distributed 13 lakh crore rupees of money. How did they do that? By printing more money. They were not sitting with 14 lakh crores just to distribute. If this happens, they print more of it. Now, as a result, what happens? Inflation happens. What is the rate of inflation these days? 12.5% month on month. That's crazy. 12.5% month on month is the rate of growth of inflation that is already happening. This is the WPI inflation. Why am I telling you all of these stories? Because Sanjeevji, think of it like this. Eventually, people are going to get upset that they are losing their money. आपके पास आज 1 rupees है, वो कहते नहीं है कि 10 साल पहले तो 1 रुपए का बिस्किट आता था, आज 20 रुपए का बिस्किट है. And they used to make different analogies that things have become so expensive. This was the reason why cryptocurrency was conceptualized. And this was not just conceptualized in 2009, where effectively the Bitcoin movement started. This was first conceptualized in 1990s. There were about 5 to 7 people in a committee who thought of creating something like this. Now, in the process of creating something like this, they were not able to materialize because back then the technology was not so advanced. 2008 is when the financial crisis happened again, and a lot of them really thought of doing it again. This time, Satoshi Nakamoto was the guy who incepted the idea of Bitcoin. He was the mastermind. So they use a certain technology, which is something we've known very commonly, known as blockchain. Now I'll answer your question. What is cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, or the prime fiat cryptocurrency right now is Bitcoin? It
So,
is
just to rephrase once again what I've understood is that cryptocurrency was founded because the currencies that were already in use, like the dollar or rupee, they are highly affected by inflation and other issues, and their value itself is going down. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So objective ये था कि एक stable currency होगी जिसकी खुद की value up down उस तरह से ना हो. Am I right?
Yes. So at least वो central bank के हाथ में control ना हो, क्योंकि अभी तो central bank is the one who's deciding to print more or to create scarcity.
Yeah, and lot of the nations like Indonesia, there are millions of rupees, like the currency is so weak that it is in millions or billions, right? So
just to buy bread, you're paying lakhs of rupees.
Right. So basically the government has control over our existing currencies, because of which they can mess it up, right? वो currency को बर्बाद कर सकते हैं, और कल को पता लगा कि आज हम 100 rupees a liter दे रहे हैं, कल को हम 1 lakh rupees a liter भी दे रहे होंगे if our government decides to mess it up, right? Yes. And this currency, Bitcoin, is not under anyone's control. It is a decentralized thing.
Absolutely.
So guys, I hope everyone got the concept कि ये फर्क है between a currency that is controlled centrally by the nation, and this currency is not controlled by anyone. So now please proceed, Arpit. So please, you were defining the cryptocurrency.
So it's a simple way of transferring money from one person to another, or peer-to-peer, decentralized way of transferring money. Is cryptocurrency is the new norm. Very simple words. Why decentralized? Because in this, there is no central banker involved. Every individual who is participating in the cryptocurrency has a ledger by themselves, and miners, the people who mine cryptocurrency, these are the people who are mining the Bitcoins, is what we have heard. Every one of those people, all of these people create a network. Is network mein every one individual has the ledger and they tally it with each other. So there is no one central place jahan pe the record management is happening. Record management is happening with everyone who's participating in it. What that does is कि it ensures there is absolute transparency. If you want to see who transferred money to who, you need to go to RBI and they will have the record. Here, that is not the case. It is open, it's public. So it's not just decentralized, it's an open platform as well. You can see which ID transferred money to which ID. Now, the problem here is you will not get to know the names. You'll only get to know the IDs. No one knows the ID kiski hai.
That's why I was worried, because recently also we heard that the government is worried that this can be used for terror financing and illegal activities, even for our cyber security attacks. A lot of the hackers are asking payments in
Bitcoins only.
Bitcoins, right? So just please also enlighten us on that also.
So the idea is simple. Everything has a pro and con. The pro of having a central ledger or central agency like the central banker, there you know and you keep track where is the money coming from, where is it going, even if it's going in a Swiss bank account. Here, you get to know money is transferred, how much and when, but you don't know from whom to whom. You just know IDs. So what this creates is that atmosphere of terror financing, money laundering. इसका एक opposite side भी है. Another reason why cryptocurrency came into picture, why people had the idea was, Sanjeev ji, if you shift to America tomorrow and I have to send you money, how will I do it? I have to go to my bank and bank will charge me 1 to 2% commission. Right. If I'll go to Western Union, and then it takes so long for the money to get transferred, a few days. I remember when I was in England, I used to transfer money to my father. It used to take about 5 to 7 days for him to actually receive it. बीच में पता ही नहीं होता था कि पैसे if they're going to come back or would it actually get transmitted. In Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, that is not the case. The money gets instantaneously transferred. So this is another convenience that this brings. So today, my whole idea is not to talk pro or con. I'm just going to tell you what it is. Okay. And I want you to be the wise guy. I'm not the wise guy. You are the wise guy. And everyone here is the wise guy. The only thing missing is the knowledge and information, which is why we thought to do this. So we impart the reality of what it is and let us become the wise guy and know if this is for us or not for us. So pros and cons, this is the concept behind it. Cryptocurrency is just shifting, not using the fiat currencies like dollar, like INR, but one currency which runs the entire world, where money can be transmitted from one to another. Central bank or anyone for that, any one individual or corporation or organization is not involved. Every single person is a ledger holder. This is how it becomes decentralized. And this is how money is transferred.
So, so the concern that, since it is decentralized, people can make mess of it is not there because everyone has a record, right? So it is not possible.
Yes.
One person cannot manipulate because he will have to manipulate throughout the ledgers of millions of people.
Which is impossible to do.
Which is impossible. So Ashok, this question was there that can anyone make a mess of it because it is not in one place. It is distributed and everyone has a record.
Yes.
So it is like you have an agreement, but millions of people are having a copy of the same agreement. So how can you mess it up?
Exactly.
Right?
And one more thing I missed, unlike other currencies which are devaluing themselves, this is appreciating.
Yeah, that is again, okay, that is again, I think we will come back to this question because I think we'll go into another question that I have ready for you. Okay, let us move forward to my second question. I can see a lot of questions are coming in, but I'm sure that we will be taking them up one by one. Okay, but one basic question has come in from Ijral, that are there multiple currencies, like there is US dollar, there is euro, there is INR. So we do understand that it is a global currency. Yes. So crypto is a global currency. You don't have to convert from INR to USD or USD to euro. So you can use it globally, right? So one advantage of cryptocurrency, but is there just one? Are there multiple?
There are multiple cryptocurrencies. In fact, aajkal to it's more like a wholesale of a warehouse of cryptocurrencies have opened. There are some ones which are very common, very well known, like there's Bitcoin, there is Ether, also known as Ethereum, which is the technology behind it. There's
Right.
Binance Coin, there's Tether, there is Solana, and so many others. But just like Litecoin, like Nitesh is saying, there's so many. These are the more popular ones. Now there's another sect, or you can say these are class A, and then there's class B as well. Class
Okay.
B where they are meme coins,
Okay.
and उनका तो खैर, it'll take us the whole day to get the list of it. But some very common known is Shibu Anu, and there are other meme coins. Abhi Squid Games के ऊपर also they had a meme coin, and many amazing things happened there. We'll be talking about it. I think this is one of the questions we're anyways covering. So simply answering, there may probably hundreds of coins would be available right now, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, guys, Abhi, just hold on to your questions. We will come back to your questions first. I'm giving my question some priority here. So, next question that I have for you: what is the status of crypto in India? So, is it legal? Is it illegal? Because a couple of years ago, I had heard the government has banned trading in crypto, and now we can see advertisements coming up in the TV, especially. A lot of ads were there during the IPL. Invest, start with 100 rupees. And also, what is the current status, and what is the future of crypto in India?
So this is probably going to be the most controversial aspect of today's talk, because 2018 was the first time where government spoke about it. उससे पहले government wasn't even talking about it. In fact, it wasn't even the government who spoke about it. It was the Reserve Bank of India. They said, and if I'm not wrong, if Mr. Das was not the heading RBI at that time, whichever governor there was at that time, the first statement was that this is illegal, you should not do it, in 2018. So a lot of people refrained from actually going into Bitcoin at that time. A lot of people who had already invested weren't sure of हमें क्या होगा, क्या हमें notice आएगा. This is what people were thinking at that time. None of that actually happened. In fact, what I understand and what I think it's rather evident right now, there are two schools of thoughts inside the government itself. There is a school of thought of RBI, and there is a school of thought of the government, for that matter. So the school of thought of RBI is, or for rather any central banker, is that it threatens the dominance of their own fiat currency that they're using in that country, like INR for us, like dollar for US, like renminbi for China. On the contrary, the second school of thought is from the government, from that perspective, that let people do it and let us make money from the taxes we're going to collect from it. And both are right in their own ways. RBI doesn't want, because terror financing will happen, and it is already happening. RBI also doesn't want because it loses its power. Think of it like Indian Railways का अगर competition आ जाएगा और इंडिया में Virgin Railways भी चलनी शुरू हो जाएंगी, Indian Railways won't be very happy. If you go and ask the president of Indian Railways, are you okay with one more train competing with you? It's like, no, obviously not.
This is direct competition for the RBI, so of course they wouldn't want it at all, right?
They wouldn't want it. I don't think they will ever change. The governor is never going to change his stance unless they change the governor, which is, we've seen a lot of that happening in the past anyhow. So RBI doesn't have total power, I would say, because they're mostly, probably not the best word to say, but they're morely controlled by the central government itself. Something that I've seen and experienced from the outside, obviously not from the inside. Because 2013, Raghunath Rajan came. He was there for a very good term. He did a lot of amazing things. But later he was almost pushed out, kicked out by the ruling government. And then we had a series of change of governors. I think 2 or 3 changed. Now we have Mr. Das. So it clearly shows that central government is controlling everything. So the power or the verdict of RBI will not be strong unless they're able to convince the central government. Now 2021, this year itself, rather 2020, last year, Supreme Court overturned RBI's thought process, and they said as a mode of exchange of payment, but you can invest in it.
Okay, Arpit,
You will not-
Arpit, you just need to repeat what you said. We lost you for a few moments.
Sure. So 2020, what happened was the Supreme Court intervened. RBI's initial verdict that cryptocurrencies are illegal, and they overturned that by saying you cannot call cryptocurrency as a mode of exchange. It's not a fiat currency to operate in India, but it's a place where you can trade or invest. Now, doing that, what does it mean? It means that you can park your money in it. You will not call it a legal tender. So it's not legal tender, but it's a place like stocks, like gold, like other places where you invest, like an asset, you can consider that and you can invest in it. That's what they said. And they also put taxation system on it. So the current taxation system on cryptocurrency is that whatever your tax bracket is, if you invest in it for 3 years, you pay the same tax. Up 0% tax pay ho, 10 pay ho, 20 pay, 30 pay, 30 plus surcharge and cess pay, wherever you are. That is the tax you have to pay. If you invest for more than 3 years, the people who are already investors understand if you invest in debt, real estate, or gold, in all three assets, the taxation structure is exactly same. More than 3 years, it is taxed at 20% after indexation, which is effective somewhere between 5 to 10% as on today's date.
Okay. So it is just like an investment vehicle.
It is counted like an investment vehicle.
So Arpit, still matlab, there is no clarity in terms of its legality. So it is legal as an investment. Okay. So guys, hold on to the questions. Like I said earlier, guys, let us keep the questions for some more time. Okay. Then I will throw the floor open and you can ask to your heart's content. Arpit, तुम्हें कहीं नहीं जाना आज. So Arpit is there to answer all your questions. But एक एक करके चलता है, स्टेप बाय स्टेप चलता है. पहले मैं अपने क्वेश्चंस खत्म कर लूं जो बेसिक क्वेश्चंस है, फिर आपके एडवांस क्वेश्चंस ले लेंगे. ठीक है. तो Arpit, basically मतलब you mean to say that it has been approved as a investment vehicle?
Yes.
And it's subject to taxation like you are investing in any other asset like gold or real estate or stocks?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But it is not a legal tender. So you cannot trade in it like a currency, right? It's not
you
a
can't
currency.
pay for services in India legally.
Achha, you can't pay. I can't accept Bitcoin. I can't start legally putting, okay, now you can pay me by Bitcoin thing.
You can't put that tag Bitcoin.
I can put a Paytm kind of a QR code. I can put a Bitcoin QR code on my website, right? Shop पे इस पे कहीं पर भी मैं Bitcoin accept नहीं कर सकता, right? ये कह रहे हैं ना?
Yes, correct.
जैसे कि मैं गोल्ड में पेमेंट एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकता, स्टॉक्स में नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर सकता, तो मैं बिटकॉइन में भी नहीं कर सकता इंडिया में.
बिल्कुल.
So in terms of the future, like first of all, people who are investing into cryptocurrency, is there any problem? There's no problem as far as the investment goes. Is it something like the government will go after them or they will be given a show cause notice? इस तरह का कोई problem हो सकता है?
Right now, I don't foresee that happening. Although, what I do foresee happening, and rather immediately, is in line of what has happened in the last few weeks. So the RBI finally got after the central government and they sat with PM Modi. And the discussion they had was, what do we do with this? Because Supreme Court is saying one thing, RBI is saying another thing. They both are not ready to listen to each other. Government still wants to make money. They have to choose a side. And this is the current scenario that is unfolding. I will give you a few possible scenarios what will happen. I'll start with the most probable one. The most probable scenario, I think, is that cryptocurrency, they will not be able to stop. They will find a way to regulate it. But the moment that happens, the decentralization aspect of cryptocurrency will go for a toss. मुझे ऐसा लगता है. This is my belief system. Because the whole idea of cryptocurrency is that it is unregulated because it's decentralized. If you centralize means someone is going to have the regulation in their hand, right? Okay. And that is where the problem is going to come. So this is going to be probably the biggest challenge in trying to regulate. So I think they will semi-regulate the cryptocurrency market to a higher extent, as much as they can. This is the most probable thing that is going to happen. Second thing which is possible, but not very probable, is that they will give a deadline and say, iske baad you cannot invest into cryptocurrency anymore. And if you already have, you need to exit.
Mhm.
Not very probable, but still possible. If it goes in the favor of RBI, this is exactly what they want the government to do.
So RBI doesn't want it at all.
RBI will not let it happen as long as DAS is there.
Okay.
In fact, any central banker should or likely will not let it happen unless it's a weak economy. China, being a autocrat that they are, a communist country, they have banned cryptocurrency altogether. And you'll be surprised to know that China is now already the biggest economy in the world. They have surpassed USA.
Okay.
And they are not going to reverse this for sure. China makes a decision once, they don't keep on switching over it.
So, but tell me one thing, Arpit, that this is clear that, of course, something that government has no control over, they don't want it, right? And
Exactly.
now you say that they will try to semi-control it. So, but Bitcoin is not belong to India or any
Doesn't belong to any nation.
So multiple nations controlling the currency or trying to control the flow of a currency, which is technologically not possible, right? Technologically, as far as I understand, it is a kind of a peer-to-peer system.
It is.
मतलब कि किसी server से किसी central server के through नहीं जाता, it is not connected to a central server where you can actually, all the banks connect to RBI, right? So they are connected and they can be controlled by RBI because it's like a central server.
Yes.
So unless and until the currency itself is actually, you can say, produced by the central bank, okay, by the Indian government, कि okay, the currency originated from there and they designed it in that way, तब तक ये control कैसे होगा? How can they control it? Even semi control भी कैसे हो सकता है? You can only control it by forcing people through regulation. Am I right?
That is the only, which is why we were talking, they will be semi-regulated, semi-controlled from that perspective.
So controlling these currencies directly is not possible unless and until you own the whole currency itself and you design it for control, right? कि आपने जो भी transaction है वो सब control government के पास भी रहेगा.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one more thing we can learn from the Indian government. आपने notice किया हो, they have run after the life of Facebook, Twitter, and many other corporate giants, where they're trying to ensure कि जितना भी data है Indian servers पे हो. I don't know if people have been following, if you have been following this. They were after the life of Facebook. They were after the life of so many other social networking media people.
Okay.
The whole idea is that they don't want हमारा data बाहर जाए. Indian government is working on taking control and security at least of the data of the users. This is exact opposite. The whole design is opposite against this. So they will not be able to control it for sure.
Against the regular currency. I know, guys, you have a lot of questions, so let me quickly go through mine. So Arpit, you have to be ready for bombardment. Okay. Chat off करना पड़ा, नहीं तो chat में continuous questions आ रहे थे. So abhi guys, excuse me for that, but let me go through some basic questions, then I will throw the floor open and we'll have a lot of questions. So question number 3, cryptocurrency versus gold and other stocks. So how, like you said, that this is you can say in India, it is being considered as an investment. So how does it compare to traditional investment in gold and in shares and in real estate? So how does it compare? Because I personally, I see that, okay, today it has become just double and then it is dropped by 25%. So wild fluctuations.
Yes.
I see. So what do you think here?
So if I could mentally plot it for everyone and answer this question, if gold is here, indexes are here, this is the risk going up. Okay, risk and return both going up proportionally. Gold is here, maybe indexes are here, stocks, blue chip stocks are here, small mid cap stocks are here, penny stocks are here. That's उससे थोड़ा सा और ऊपर और उस region में is where I actually see, if I was to plot it on a chart and say, this is the risk return ratio the cryptocurrencies have. But generalizing and saying cryptocurrency would also not be fair because grade A and grade B type of cryptocurrencies already exist. A blue chip would be, Bitcoin would be like a blue chip stock today, wherein meme stocks would be penny stocks. Meme currencies would be penny stocks. So somewhere on those lines is where it stands today. And the best part or the worst part, whichever you might see it from that perspective, is this is so ever evolving. This is so new. This is like invention of new money. So I can never be an expert, nor can anyone else be. Why? Because this is evolving by itself. New things are happening. Abhi, we'll be talking later about DeFi apps. We'll be talking about NFTs, something which is they did not even plan it, but it created itself because the technology was there. So we're talking about reinvention of money. So the whole thing is ki we don't even know the risks. We are just trying to know what the risks are with the limited knowledge that we have, with the limited evolution of the blockchain technology that has happened. So we can only try to understand it. And what I try to understand right now is this is in the riskometer, this is where it is. What my personal understanding is that cryptocurrency is not for everyone. Before we make any investment for that matter, हमें खुद को एक बार समझना होता है कि अपना स्वरूप, when you know yourself, know thyself to know your investment. When you understand what is your risk tolerance, then one should understand to be, if you already invest in, you can say penny stocks, cryptocurrency is a ball game for you. When you anyways invest in blue chip stocks, doing your own research, maybe you can invest in Bitcoin. But if you think anything less than that and you don't do any of those things, investing in Bitcoin will be a massive jump in actually your risk tolerance versus the asset you are choosing. Or us asset के अंदर then choosing the coin would be the next level of decision making. And then there are many other steps which I will explain as we go along.
So to summarize, you mean to say that in terms of risk and reward, like, okay, starting with gold and going up with the stocks, and in stocks, there are different types of stocks. So in terms of risk and reward, this would be the highest. So there is very high risk and there could be very high rewards.
Yes.
And, so one must understand whether what is their palette for, what is their risk taking capability. तो आपका risk लेने का capability कितना है, right? तो वो आपको सोचना है. And again, it is something that is unpredictable and that is developing. Okay, तो ये किस direction में जाएगा ये कहना अभी मुश्किल है, right?
Because
So-
actually, Sanjeev ji, risk comes in two parts. One is the up and down of the price. Other is if it is going to exist or not.
Okay.
So existential risk is one risk, which is the entire loss of capital. The other is the price up and down. So both the risk one is carrying. In fact, abhi aur bhi risks hain. As we talk more about regulations, I will open up other areas of risk which people are not even aware of.
And, like definitely this is a bit of a scary scenario. And again, in terms of, me just thinking aloud, governments will try to control it because this can be used for any kind of payments, right? चाहे आपको बात ना करें, लेकिन actual में तो even ransomware is getting paid through Bitcoins, am I right? And and it is something that is out of the control of any particular government, so it is going to grow. Right, as we are moving increasingly towards globalization, आज की date में you can hire people from anywhere, people can actually work from anywhere, right? So similarly, we have a currency through which you can pay anywhere to anyone without actually having to go through any formal currency transactions, right? Yes. So this is going to grow, and definitely there will be a big mess because the governments will try to control it. And they would hardly be able to control it, and especially for very weak nations, where their currency is in like billions or billions. That is so value is degraded so much. The people would be attracted more towards dealing in these currencies rather than paying for that money, right?
Absolutely.
Like Brazil, like Argentina, where this big problem of counterfeit money and all. So this would be
counterfeit. Major of that is inflation, which we started off the session with. How is it that Zimbabwe may a bread will cost in lakhs? Why is it Indonesia may go out for a restaurant and you're paying in lakhs?
Millions of
billions there. So these problems, yes, it solves. So it's like boon and on one end, and it's a threat on the other. Okay. It's like playing with fire. Agar aap matchstick se, if you're lighting a candle, it will give you light, but you can burn yourself out with it.
Okay, so one has to still be very careful and be aware that it is a risky proposition as of now, right?
Probably the
Rewards
risk
may be
is
high.
high.
The rewards may be high, but the risk is also pretty high. And
Yes.
not only in terms of market fluctuation, but also in terms of existence of the currency itself.
Yes.
So now coming to very important question is how to make money in the crypto market. So we have almost like 100 people attending here today. So one question on everyone's mind, ki how to make money. Okay, Arpit, can we actually, invest things and actually how to play this market actually?
Sure. So I will give you the most correct way, might not be the most popular, but the correct way of doing this. So Sanjeev ji, the whole idea is whenever we put our money anywhere, it could be in 2 or 3 formats. It could be a gamble, it could be a trade, or it could be an investment. When I mean gamble, is it, I don't know, I'm saying 0 or double or 5 times or 100 times. That is a gamble. A trade is a calculative entry and exit that I've created. That's a trade. That I'm going to buy here. If it goes down this much, I will exit. And if it goes up that much, I will exit. The good thing about a trade is it's always thinking know when to enter and when to exit. An investment is you can do at any given price and you're thinking in your head, I will keep on holding it for as long as I can do that. I will try to multifold my returns out of it.
So
So
that is
these
a gamble, a trade, and an investment.
trade or investment.
So guys, Arpit has split it into 3 parts. So gamble, where you're just investing and you're not, it's like a speculation, right? Just like you're in a casino.
Yeah.
Then kya hoga? Second is a trade, which is a calculated risk. Okay, I will enter at this point, and at this point, at this level up or this level down, I will exit. Am I right, Arpit?
Yeah.
And third is an investment, like a long-term investment. Okay, we will put the money in and we'll see after 5 years or 10 years, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So it can be played in all 3 ways. I will now share my viewpoints on how it fares out in all of these. If you were in the very early time, not knowing enough about cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, still you put your money into it, it grew. That was a gamble. You didn't even know, you didn't even research. You heard about it. Your mind says, चलो 10,000 रुपए या 50,000 रुपए 1 लाख रुपए डालने से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? You put your money into it and it made money for you. Wonderful. That was a gamble. Problem with gamble is you are okay to lose the entire money. And the whole idea of gamble is there is no calculation here. Second method is the trade method, where you say, I'm going to choose amongst these 100 coins, this particular coin, and this particular coin I will buy at this particular price. When it comes to this particular price, I will exit at a certain target of profit or a certain appetite of loss. This is where money management comes into picture. So there are 2 rules that I want everyone here to know and learn, because even people like Warren Buffett use this. Any smart investor, anyone who knows management of money, use these 2 rules, which I'm going to tell you. The first rule is risk reward ratio. Risk reward ratio simply means for every penny of loss that you're willing to take, what is the amount of profit you're also going to make from that trade. So if I'm willing to lose 1 rupee, is my trade also going to give me 1 rupee or 2 rupee or 3 or 5? So whatever calculation I have done, if I buy it at 10 rupees and I sell it at 50, I will make a 40 rupees profit. And if it goes down, it can go down to 0. So I will lose 10, but I'll make 40. That's a 4:1 ratio. So this ratio has to be set into place first before making the trade decision. Second factor is the probability. What if I'm investing in one coin with a 4:1 ratio? There is still a chance. What if I'm at a 10% probability? I will have to invest in 10 different coins to be able to ensure कि मेरा एक coin gives me 4 times. But if you calculate 10% probability and 1:4 ratio, you will still lose money. Because only one coin will give you 40, the other 9 coins will take 90 rupees away from you. Your net loss will be 50 rupees. So the whole idea is you have to put it into a mathematical science and say ki what is the probability of getting the expectation of return or the profit that I'm looking at. In simpler words, मैं 50% probability लेके चलता हूँ. If I buy a certain coin, I say 50% chance this will go up. And I take a 2:1 risk reward ratio. So, which means if I invest 50 rupees in it, it will become 2 times, or I lose this 50. And there's a 50-50 chance ये ऐसा होगा या नहीं होगा. Now you're somewhere close to hitting break even or going in profit. So you need to do this on a piece of paper. You have to calculate and see what is the expectancy of probability of making a profit from this, and what is your risk reward ratio. Only once you put both into picture can you say I've come to a logical decision to make a trade in this. Final part, which is the most boring, everyone might find it, is how do you know किस price पे मैं खरीदूंगा? How do you know what price will I sell in profit and loss? This is where the logical, this is where a retail investor and a smart investor differs. A smart investor would use tools like technical analysis. A retail investor will just look at pivots. अच्छा 30,000 का हो गया यहाँ पे करता हूँ. Smart investor will say 28,522 is where I need to invest. This is the difference. So your loss probability or loss size automatically reduce when you're using a certain analysis. So there are 2 analyses that are done typically in the history of investing or trading. It is fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Fundamental analysis you don't have to do in cryptocurrency because there are no fundamentals. Technical analysis is a study of chart. So you look at a charting trend, a pattern, and on that there are more than 200 tools in technical analysis. Looking at that tool, you make a decision that I will invest in this coin at this price because from here the risk reward ratio is very good, and the probability of making a return from this particular coin based on this trend looks good. That is how you do a trade. The third is again a common one used by many people, which is known as investing. So we spoke about the first as gambling. We spoke about trading. Now let's talk about investing. Investing is simple. You find a coin which is lowest in price and you're waiting for it to go high up, or you buy Bitcoin today and say, "मैं 10 साल तक I'm not going to sell this." So you will try to do some sort of fundamental research to understand why this coin will be good. Like people are talking about Ethereum or Ether as the next Bitcoin, possible Bitcoin. Why? Because it has a alternate state technology. It is also able to create NFTs. We'll talk about it later on. So this has the potential of becoming a Bitcoin. So if today it is at, I think about 3.7 lakhs, 3.6 lakhs, and a Bitcoin is at 50 lakhs, this can become a possible Bitcoin later on if it works well. So we will buy and we'll forget it. We won't do anything to it. So these are 3 approaches. Which one do I like? If I really have to invest, I would choose the middle one. I will choose the trade strategy. This would be my strategy on certain conditions. Once they are met, then I would go for the trade strategy. Why? Because I know my entries, I know my exits, I know my loss size, I know my profit size. And now I'll tell you the reason why trade. What are the conditions that have to be met before this can become a actually profitable? See, Sanjeev ji, everyone wants to make a profit from this. Now they are not concerned Bitcoin jaye kahan, unko chahiye ki paisa aaye.
Right.
Isn't it? So
Right.
what is that mechanism which ensures ki paisa aaye, money comes? Simple. You have to trade in it. There you have more surety. And what are the factors which will promote trade in cryptocurrency is what I want to discuss now. Not a lot of people know you actually end up losing at least 5%, minimum, I think 5% of the value you invest in cryptocurrency the moment you invest in it.
Okay, how's that?
First thing first is the fees of currency conversion. You are not buying in INR, you're buying in USDs. So your currency will be converted for your money to actually, either you do it yourself or you do it through the platform through which you're investing. Eventually, it is going by the dollar standard and then investing in Bitcoin. this is the first area where you lose almost about 1% of your money the moment
1%.
1% goes there. Then this is a variable fees, which is known as the miner fees, not pacha wala miner, but the khodne wala miner. So who is the miner? The miner is all the people who are mining Bitcoins. They're not doing it for free for you. They are the ledger system, which is ensuring this is decentralized. So every time a transaction happens, a certain, I think $6 per certain amount of transaction, that money goes to the miner for doing the task that they do. The third is the wallet fees. The wallet fees is the wallet in which you're going to hold your investments. That is the wallet fees, which is also varying as per wallet to wallet. The fourth fees is the fattest fees of them all, which most of the people don't even know. It is known as spreads. Spread wo jam wala spread nahi, but a spread is in financial terms known as the difference of price between buyer and seller. Property में spread सबसे बड़े होते हैं. Think of it like this, संजीव जी, अगर एक हम plot बेचने जाते हैं, let's say आपका 1 CR का एक plot है.
ठीक है.
When you want to go and sell it,
Right.
you will have to have enough buyers. If you know 1 CR is the value, you will have one buyer saying 95 दूंगा, you will have one buyer saying 97 दूंगा, one buyer saying 98 दूंगा. You will try to sell it to the most genuine buyer at the highest price. So you're dependent on buyers now. Imagine on the other end, if one person wants to buy from 10 different sellers, again, he will choose the price he wants to buy at. So the seller will have to decrease their price as per that. So the more number of buyers and sellers, the spread or the buying and selling ka jo gap hai, that reduces. In stocks, this is 0.05, 0.01. In here, it is 2% of the value of the money. The moment you buy 2%, the spread may you will lose.
Okay.
Because there are not enough buyers and sellers. You might think, well, statistically speaking, I was just taking a note. India has $10 billion money invested in cryptocurrency. 10.5 crores individual investors in India, which is the highest for any one nation. Indians are the biggest investors in cryptocurrency in numbers. The average age of a cryptocurrency investor is 18 to 20 years. 20% of the people are from that age bracket. Do you really think all these people, all these things are known by those people? Not at all. So they are only going in the euphoria ki the price is rising, let's make money. We need to understand all of these things and then come to a logical decision making, which is why we thought of this idea. So we are going to lose 5%. So 2% may buy, may the 2% sell maybe. The only way you've made a profit or a loss is when you sell it, right?
Right.
तो 2% तो स्प्रेड में ही चला गया, 1% फीस में चला गया. स्प्रेड 2 बार लगेंगे, बाय में भी सेल में भी. 5% तो यही है, प्लस माइनिंग फीस प्लस वॉलेट फीस.
What is the wallet
You're
fee?
starting at -5, not at 0.
So how much is the wallet fees?
So wallet fees is invariably synonymous to the custodian fees. अब custodian या wallet कौन होता है? Which is where I think the next thing we were going to discuss is about the risk, how to decrease the risk in a certain investment.
And which is the best platform actually?
And which is the best platform. See, let's start with the risk, how to reduce your risk. I will give you the analogy of stock market में क्या होता है, because this is the most matured financial market that we know, the stock markets. Every country has one. And how does it fare with the cryptocurrency market right now? और उसके safety nets क्या हैं दोनों में? In the stock market, the entire framework is there is a stock exchange like National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange. These are also privately held. इन दोनों को भी रेगुलेट करने वाला सेबी है, Security and Exchange Board of India, which is the regulator. Regulator regulates both the stock exchange, National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange. Inside the stock exchange, there are lots of brokers on multi-level. These brokers are the intermediary between the buyers and sellers who need to buy and sell on the stock exchange. So they directly cannot go to the stock exchange. They have to go through a broker. Like property, you buy and sell through a broker, but you can also do it yourself. Here, there is no yourself option. So on the broking platform, buying and selling is happening. The broker is taking commission and making this possible for you. Can you see there is an entire system, but this system is still incomplete. When you buy a certain financial instrument, a stock, a bond, or ETF, or whatever you might buy, it goes to your broker. What if broker goes down tomorrow? Who's going to guarantee your money? This is where SEBI is important, because they set up something known as the secret vault, not the secret vault, the safety vault, where you can transfer your holdings from the broker to another party, which is known as the custodian. The custodian is the person who is responsible for the safety net or the holding value. It stays, the asset stays. Custodians in India, there are two. There is CDSL and NSDL. These are the custodians. And you'll be amazed to know, Sanjeev ji, even in times like these, despite being such a matured market, there are still brokers go down, and there are people still who have not linked their Demat account with custodians, and they end up losing everything that they've got.
Okay.
I personally know someone who had 9 crores of investment that they had made. They made a killing in the stock market, made so much money, but the basics of regulation and safety they did not do. Their broker went down. It was a Delhi-based broker. They got a 25 lakh check settlement from the court. They lost 8 crores 75 lakhs of money. Now, this is the framework. Despite this, it's a very well-regulated market, and SEBI is known as one of the best regulators in the world. So this is the safety what the financial markets, not just stock exchange, the financial markets give. Now let's compare it vis-a-vis with the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. There is no regulator, so there is no SEBI. There is no centralized exchange. There are just platforms which are diving into the crypto net, you may call it like the internet, who are then buying the currency, the coins, and then holding for you. If you don't want them to hold for you if they go down, because there was one, forgetting the name, one Japanese-based such broker or wallet, you can say, which lost 70% of all the money because someone frauded, someone hacked into their
system.
Hacked their system. 70%, I think $450 million ka cryptocurrency was gone.
Okay.
Which created the custodian or the wallet system for the cryptocurrencies. अब उसमें भी दो तरीके होते हैं. There is a non-custodian way of keeping in wallet and custodian way of keeping in wallet. So Sanjeev ji, you must have heard about the small USBs जो security keys आती हैं. आप तो वैसे you're in IT, you know about those. Some time ago, digital signatures were also in a USB. The same way, there is a safety key that you plug into your system, and in that key is where your holding goes, like your stock, your whatever financial holding you have. This is known as the non-custodian way. The only cost there is that of the fee that you pay for getting that key. Your key is your responsibility. You are holding the asset inside the key. Key lost, money gone.
Money gone. So if the key goes bad or you lose the key, you will lose the entire investment.
Entire investment.
Or otherwise, the other
Otherwise, this key will be kept into a server by, there are 3 very common or big names who are online custodians who will have the key. वहाँ पे भी key होगी, but it'll be in their servers.
Yeah, virtual.
This would be virtual keys. So this would be Coinbase. There is Gemini and Kraken. So these are the 3 very big custodians who help you to do that, and they also have a fees.
So can you come again? It's Kraken. How do you spell it?
Kraken.
So let me type it out for people. Kraken is there, Gemini is there, and
Coinbase.
Okay, guys, I've typed that out for you guys. And these are the custodians.
These are the custodians. So this will digitally secure it for you.
Okay. So they will digitally secure it. And again, are these the platforms that we can use to actually invest into Bitcoin?
In India, you best to use Indian platforms. So most of us would already have heard about WazirX, which is the biggest platform. There is ZebPay, ZEB Pay, CoinDCX, there is Switchcoin, there is Unocoin. So these are the top 5 most commonly known ones. But there is a problem here. All of these platforms, despite being big in the cryptocurrency, they are still maturing to know how to handle the cryptocurrency. If you remember, not so long ago, when the cryptocurrency Bitcoin fell from 60,000 to 30,000, it halved itself in a matter of few weeks. When that happened, I think this is also the same time when China said no to cryptocurrency. The WazirX platform, which is the biggest platform in India, it froze. And they at the same time had an inquiry from the ED, and they were also served with a show cause notice. And all of that actually happened at that time. So I wouldn't say there is any one safe platform. I don't believe they have matured to the point that they will be able to do this effortlessly. Even today, even in the stock exchange, even in US stock exchange, the servers do freeze. अगर वहां पे हो सकता है ये तो this is nowhere near to the same level to what the exchanges in US are or to the exchanges in India are, which are 30 years, 80 years, 100 years old technology, which is updating itself. So these are the platforms, but I would not vouch for anyone because the biggest one has already shown a lot of cracks in itself.
So this means, Arpit, if I were to summarize, so you mean to say that either one way is that you keep your own Bitcoins on your own USB key. And the other way is that you keep it with the custodians. And again, there is a chance that these custodian servers may get hacked, or they may technically, there are risks involved, right?
Yeah. And the platform in itself, there is no one stable platform because the biggest one of them also did not did not perform well when the time came, the volumes came. अभी तो volume बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं होती. Trading जब बढ़ती है, जब volatility बढ़ती है. And at that time, if they're not able to manage, if their servers freeze, if they're not able to facilitate buyers and sellers, so I think it's a very big risk.
So there is a lot of risk involved here also.
Yeah.
But what would you say, which one would be your preferred mode if you were to invest? Would it be the key or would it be the custodian method?
To be honest, actually, Sanjeevji, I would wait until the fees first is taken into consideration. And I'm not very comfortable losing 5% the moment I invest, irrespective of whatever returns I'm going to get.
Okay.
I would first want the fees to reduce to maybe somewhere in the region of 1%. Then I would want some level of security. I personally maybe would go for the USB. Maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't thought it through yet. But maybe I'll go for the USB. At least my problem is in my hand. If someone says mera server down ho jaye, what will I do about it?
Right.
I can't sue them because that will be a part of their clause.
Right.
So I cannot depend on someone for my money. I need to be dependent on myself, or I want such a strong regulatory system which takes care of itself, which is already there. And then I want a strong platform as well. If all three things happen, then I will start my journey of trading into cryptocurrency. I will still not invest. I obviously will not gamble.
So you are right now, you say that right now the risks involved are a little bit too much for your appetite.
My risk reward ratios and my, you can say my risk profiling does not suit the opportunities, the framework, the cost, all of this for me does not suit to do it for myself.
So guys, a few more questions, one or two more questions, and then I will open. I know you have a lot of questions that you want to ask, Arpit. So, okay. So one very important question, like which cryptocurrency you think would be performing very well? Like if you were to invest, which one would you select? आप कौन सी cryptocurrency select करोगे? जब इतनी सारी हैं, so please enlighten us a little bit about those, penny stocks and those kind of currencies. So they are major, minor,
Yes.
like.
So if we were talking about two classes of cryptocurrencies, we spoke about the tier one or the A class, which was Bitcoin, Ether. We spoke about Binance or Solana, all of these ones. These are more established, they have more volumes. The likeliness amongst all of these, Bitcoin and Ether, looks to be the ones which will stay for longer. I cannot still promise they will always be there. They will existentially be there, but what price would they be at? No one has any idea. On the second side, the contrary side, the meme coins, which we know as Shibu Inu or Dogecoin, or there was a Squid Game coin as well. Intriguing story about it. So this coin started at 0.0000 something at some price, went 2700% up, made a lot of money for a lot of people. That's when more money came into it. The moment that happened, the person who incepted this coin decimated it. So this person hacked into his own system, took away all the money. So I think he cashed out about 25 crores in Indian rupees. The coin is now almost worth zero. And this is not the first, but the second coin. If you would have heard about Mark Cuban, who is a billionaire and a celebrity as well, he also invested in a certain coin. A very similar thing happened there. So I can't say if Elon Musk says कि इस coin में पैसा invest करना है, तो this is going to be the future. Billionaires have lost money into coins which have become zero. People at large anyways face through that. So going in meme coins would be absolutely going through the gamble way, which is not my way for sure. One can gamble, there is no if and but about it, but it does not suit me. It's not something I would suggest anyone to do. Yes, they do have the possibility of 10,000%, 5,000%, this and that to happen. But then if someone was to go that way, आप सब में लगा लो, कोई तो पड़ेगा, and just pray to God if that happens for you. Not the kind of approach I would take. My approach, asking, because you asked me, Arpit, what would your approach be? Once all the conditions I've told you are met, then I would go for maybe the first or the second, which is Bitcoin or Ether right now. I would find a buying point. I would find a selling point in profit and loss. I will create a risk reward ratio for myself. And once it on paper shows that the possibility of profit is there, then I would trade into it using technical analysis. That is how I know, if not for sure, but more probable than anyone else, I would be able to make a money out of it. That would be my approach.
Okay, I think that is pretty much clear now. So you have some idea as to which currency you should opt for. So related to this, one more question I have, I've started hearing another term called NFT, that is non-fungible tokens. There's something brand new. There's just, I started hearing about this. Can you also tell us a little bit about what are non-fungible tokens and how they are different from cryptocurrency?
Yes, sure. So NFT are like a byproduct that the Ethereum technology created. So Ethereum is like a parallel to Bitcoin, and they have their own technology, how they created it. NFT in simple words is if you convert any asset into digital format and make it unique, it is under the technology of NFT. I'll give you a few real world examples. Think of songs, music, a art gallery picture, or an art for that matter. Think of fashion, think of anything which is unique. One particular thing that is unique. That उस चीज के अंदर NFT can be applied to make it unique. Like Mona Lisa की जो पिक्चर है, अब वो फिजिकल है, राइट? अगर मैं उसको डिजिटल कन्वर्ट करना चाहूँ, तो डिजिटल में तो any number of copies can be made. How do I ensure it there is only one of it?
Right.
There is where you use the technology of NFT. Non-fungible token means it cannot be replicated. That's the whole idea. Anything which is unique, you want to convert it into digital, is where you would use the NFT technology, and you would sell it digitally now. So Amitabh Bachchan was one person who recently in India adopted it. He recorded his father's, Shri Harivansh Rai Bachchan's poems in his own voice. This is unique, right? First वो poems उनकी हैं और अमिताभ बच्चन की आवाज है. अब इसको भी replicate किया जा सकता था digitally. जो copyright music industry says ना, this is our copyright, you can't copy it. If you use NFT technology in it, it cannot be replicated. That is what he did. He recorded that and he sold it for I think 100 crores or whatever amount he did it for. And that is an NFT. NFT can be done in any format. It can be done in art, in fashion, in music, in whatever format. As long as it is unique, if that is the integrity you want to keep, yes. Like every diamond, har ek diamond is different from one another. It is a physical NFT, you can call it. Put it into digital, then the NFT comes into it.
So Arpit, you mean to say that suppose if I were to record a lecture or a video, or I have something that is in a digital format, and I convert it into an NFT and destroy the original,
so it'll stay forever.
then it is the only unique copy, right? The concept is that the original is no longer there. So it is just digitally it exists and you should not be able to copy it and send it to other people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that NFT, that video, that photograph becomes an NFT. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So just like a piece of art.
Just like a piece of art.
It is limited. Okay,
Yes.
great.
So people are trading on this and making money from this as well.
And so where are people trading on this? There are some platforms for this as well?
I haven't explored any. I think they're doing it more on one-on-one basis yet. I haven't, because you cannot trade. The thing about NFT is that you cannot trade it with another NFT. You can only trade it in the format of Ethereum or Ether. So you can sell NFTs for Ether, which is the cryptocurrency, which is accepting it. So these non-fungible tokens are created on the Ethereum technology and traded for Ether. You cannot buy one Mona Lisa and get another type of art plus music like that. So इसमें barter नहीं हो सकता. You can only sell it for money.
Money for Ethereum.
Yes, for Ethereum.
Okay, great. I think this was a lovely session, Arpit. Thank you. First of all, before we throw the floor open, so we came to know what is crypto in simple language. We came to know whether it is legal, illegal in India, and how does it stand versus gold or stocks, how you can make money, like what could be the 3 strategies that he enlightened us about that. Again, which cryptocurrency to use, which are the best platforms, how to handle the risk. And we also talked about NFTs. So these are all the questions from my side. And let me thank Arpit. So, okay, Arpit, before I throw the floor open to the audience, so if like I understand that you, of course, guys, Arpit also handles all my money. Okay, Arpit is the investment guru, and he takes care of my money, where to invest in what stocks, and he is the guy who can actually help you create passive income. So instead of you working for money all the time, let your investments earn an income for you so that you're not dependent. So you can work out of your interest and your passion. That is what I am doing, and have my money, also work simultaneously. So Arpit, for all the people who are here today, I would love if they could, you can enlighten them more about how to actually build a passive income. Okay, is there any upcoming webinars or something where, they can come and learn more about investing in general, not only in cryptocurrency, but the overall concept of investing and creating a passive income?
Absolutely, Sanjeev. The whole idea is we want to make money wherever from. चाहे वो cryptocurrency से हो, चाहे वो stock से हो, bond से हो, gold से हो.
Right.
The bottom line is there is a physical human need of making money. And as I say, is that money is the biggest distraction on our journey towards our passion. Right. We all have something unique in us. We have something which is a purpose or a passion of our life. Most of us are not able to get there. Why? Because money is the biggest distraction. So वो पैसा आए कहीं से भी, the whole idea is that I've created a system, a methodology that you and I have been working on for the last 5 years. And now I'm trying to give it to as many people as possible. And for that, we have created certain courses, and we have a session happening on this Friday, a 2-hour session where I give them a prelude of what it is, how it is done, how it has helped people like you and many others, and how other people can understand it and see if this is for them or not. So it's called Financial Nirvana Mastery Webinar. So I'll just put it in the chat if it's allowed or right now.
Yeah, it's allowed now.
Yeah.
So Arpit, is this a chargeable webinar?
No, we're doing this. I initially thought to charge people to just because it's a matter of commitment. So whatever small money you charge, 500,000 rupees. But I understood that the people who are coming here, the people we have invited are anyways people who are committed.
Committed, right.
So I felt if they hold themselves with their own commitment and they just register on the link that we've shared, there's no need to charge anyone for it. So it's
great, guys. I thank Arpit once again for this amazing opportunity, guys. So normally these are paid webinars. So you can attend Arpit's Financial Nirvana Mastery webinar on this 26th November. That is a Friday. That's the next week, right?
Yes.
From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So please use this link that is there. And don't forget to register straight away so that you don't forget about this. And now I throw the floor open for questions, guys. So please go ahead and you can ask the questions. So you can also unmute yourself, but okay. Let me take the first question. So that is Karthik Pitti. What were the reasons on which we had shifted from gold as a medium of exchange or barter system to fiat currency as a medium of exchange? Okay, that is more of a theoretical question, guys. More questions on cryptocurrency, please. Nisar, so cryptocurrency related questions, right?
Yeah, although I can still answer this. So
Right.
Karthik, the whole idea is gold as a standard of exchange. It's not possible for people like sabse pehle, how was money invented? There was no money, there was barter. You give me rice, I give you wheat. Then they wanted something which is common, everyone can use, which was gold. Gold is gold anywhere in the world you go. But then again, you cannot break it into fractions, which is why money came, because money can be broken into fractions. And then the limitations of money is what we discussed in today's program, which is what gave birth to the idea and now the physical aspect of cryptocurrency. So money will evolve as the needs of the people will evolve. And I think we're in that new era right now.
Okay. So now next is Nisar Bhatt. If the quantity of INR, USD or any other country's currency to be printed by government directly proportional to GDP or any other parameter of a country, how quantity of cryptocurrency is controlled? Okay, looks interesting.
So like we shared, this is a controversial documentary. You'll find it on YouTube. How the US government shifted from gold standard to debt standard for printing money, which means कि जितना भी उनके पास gold है, उतना ही printed currency should be there. This is the reserve-based system. They shifted in 1984, if I'm not wrong, when President Nixon changed. They will not be asset-backed gold. They will be asset-backed by debt. Debt they can print, debt they can create as much as possible in thin air. India right now is on gold standard. So whatever gold we have is the money that we are printing. But as I said, US is the world domination and dollar is the fiat currency. So it invariably controls almost everything else happening in the world right now. It's intriguing at the same time because China the first economy right now does not allow Bitcoin. The second one is printing as much as possible. So this creates that level of uncertainty. And answering your question, it's not backed by GDP, it's backed by asset. An asset in India is gold, asset in USD is debt. Debt as much can be printed. India, restricted gold, restricted reserves that we have. That's how it works.
So cryptocurrency is backed by an asset, you mean to say?
So cryptocurrency, this is where I get lost because they say, I think 241 million coins or something like that can only be mined. Who decided that? How can you put a number on a digital asset? This is where I fail to understand. This is where I get lost in the cryptocurrency world. And this is where my confidence into the longevity or knowing कि the whole reason is anything goes up because it's limited supply, right? तभी gold का price बढ़ता है. We know limited amount of gold can be created. How do I define? How do I know? Or where do I put it into my logic कि इतने number of coins can be mined? How do I know that? I don't know.
That is why the reason why the value of the currency is increasing, because it is in shorter
On the
supply.
basis of that, कि this limited supply, but I don't have any logic or
Right.
any source to confirm it.
Okay, Sunil Kumar is asking, what do you say about PI currency coming up? Are you aware of?
So there is Pi, it's been there for a lot of time. The whole problem that I have with so many number of currencies right now is they're all competing like stocks with each other. And almost none of them have any real value where you can say, like when you have gold, you can put a value. The best part is investing into a stock. You know it, this company creates this much income, so it should be valued at this much price. How do I value a cryptocurrency? There is no way, there is no base. So any cryptocurrency you tell me and you give me a name and you say ki Kuber ya Pi ya any for that matter, what do I think about it? Or what should be the right value? Or should I invest into this? The answer to all of these is I don't know, because there is no value that they create. They cannot create any value. I cannot put a value to it either. So my answer is same for all of the same type of questions, including Bitcoin.
So I'll also take one question from Gautam Buddhiraja. Gautam ji, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Namaste, Sanjeev ji, and Namaste, Arpit. Long time. So there are three small parts to my question. First one is the timings for the meeting were quite odd immediately after lunch. So there are many people who were sleeping. Including at times मेरी भी आंख लग गई थी तो पूरा फॉलो नहीं कर पाया. तो एक तो दोस्त ये चीज अभी भी समझ नहीं आई कि फंडामेंटली क्रिप्टो करेंसी में क्या है, बिकॉज when we invest into stocks we are basically buying part of a business. When we are buying gold we are buying something that is limited in the world. तो हालांकि आपने बताया अच्छे से, बट समझ में नहीं आया, एट टाइम्स क्लियर नहीं हुआ अभी भी कि क्रिप्टो करेंसी में क्या है एक्चुअली में. व्हाट इज द वैल्यू दैट इज बीइंग बॉट एंड व्हाट इज इंक्रीजिंग एक्चुअली समझ नहीं आया, एक्सेप्ट के सट्टा है या व्हाटएवर. दूसरा, आपने कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क दिया कि एट दिस स्टेज यू डोंट फील लाइक इन्वेस्टिंग. So if it is applicable on the part of cryptocurrency today, then I'll be in a relaxed mode. मुझे पता है कि जैसे आप बोलोगे वैसे ही हमें करना है, तो हम भी उसकी तरफ ध्यान नहीं देंगे. So ये सेकंड वाला पॉइंट क्लियर कर देना कि that comment was about all the cryptos or only about Bitcoin.
Sure.
और थर्ड पॉइंट में I would like to recommend Arpit to other people who are not into जिन्होंने कोर्स नहीं किया अभी अर्पित का, या जो रेगुलर टच में नहीं है. So just like Sanjeev ji, Arpit is handling some part of my money also, and this part of the money is very different that the money that Sanjeev ji is having. उसमें बहुत सारी zeros का फर्क होगा, but फिर भी वो सारा अर्पित ही करते हैं, पूरी तरह ध्यान देते हैं. It has been more than a year now, and I'm much satisfied with the performance and the results. हालांकि इस दौरान में मतलब पहले हमारे को जो पता होता था कि रियल एस्टेट में इन्वेस्ट करना है या स्टॉक्स में ज़्यादा करना है, सो वहाँ से निकल के अर्पित जी ने हमें थोड़ा ये दिखाया कि गोल्ड की तरफ देखो, डेट की तरफ देखो, कुछ और चीज़ें भी हैं. सो सारी चीज़ें सामने हैं हमारे की क्या करने की हैं. एंड सिंस द लास्ट ईयर हैज़ बीन अ वेरी लाइक यूफोरिया काइंड ऑफ अ बिजनेस ईयर टाइम फॉर द स्टॉक मार्केट, तो ऑब्वियसली उसमें इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया हमने ज़्यादा. सो द numbers that we have got in the last 1 year are not very high, but otherwise the kind of expertise that they have and the kind of professional team that Arpit is having is really commendable. और किसी को भी अगर पैसे इनकम में जाना है तो he is the guy here. So Arpit ji, this was also long due, तो मुझे लगा आज right platform है to be done for a genuine thing that you have done for us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I'll answer your question. Your first question was कि why is it going up? What are we really buying? उसकी intrinsic value क्या है?
Yes.
There is no intrinsic value. You are buying the probability of someone who is going to buy it higher than the price that you have bought it at. That's what you're buying. In simple words.
In very layman's language, this is something called a greater fool theory also.
I haven't heard about it. What does it say?
नहीं, ये यही कहती है, जैसे अब सी अगर मैं स्टॉक में भी जैसे वो बोलते हैं मैंने कोई चीज 130 पे बेची है तो मैं अपने आप को समझदार मान के चल रहा हूँ कि मैंने वो 130 पे बेच दिया, मुझे प्रॉफिट मिल गया, एंड द पर्सन हु इज बाइंग इज आल्सो इन द सेम माइंडसेट कि यार
Yes.
ये 130 में खरीदना बड़ा फायदा, आगे में बहुत मिलेगा।
Yes.
सो वो जिस चीज की वैल्यू ओरिजिनली 60 होनी चाहिए वो 100 भी हो जाती है, 200 500 हो जाती है। इसको एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट में दिस इज आल्सो कॉल्ड अ ग्रेटर फुल थ्योरी।
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, on the same lines, no intrinsic value. We're just hoping कि with the people who buy hope कि someone will buy it at a higher price because इसकी demand बढ़ेगी. I don't feel मतलब in my logical understanding and my limited logical understanding, I don't see कि why would this be restricted to a certain number of points. So वो this is where I get lost, where I say कि I can't put a value to it, which is where I get lost. I cannot invest in it, which is why ऐसे अगर करूँगा भी तो ट्रेड करूँगा, इन्वेस्ट नहीं करूँगा, because I cannot know कि if I can hold it for 5 years or 10 years. In fact, I can't even do it with a stock. We have seen so many companies going bust where you can't even bet on a company which is making money in right in front of you. Companies like Yes Bank, आप उसमें sure नहीं हो. See, the more knowledge you have, the more scared you get, because it is telling you what is happening behind. So the ignorant sometimes makes more money, but not for very long, because eventually the truth comes out. So मेरे साथ वो blessing कह सकते हैं या वो क्या कह सकते हैं, श्राप कह सकते हैं, whatever it's called, कि we know certain things which stop us from sometimes making money, like we were talking about equity markets, or like we are talking about meme coins or any cryptocurrency for that matter. Your second question was what is my underlying की अब करना क्या है वाली बात. So the bottom line is that all the cryptocurrencies, A class or B class, the ones which are very well known and traded like Bitcoin, Ether, Binance, Tether, and all of these or the small ones में तो मुझे लगता है जाने का कोई reason ही नहीं है, unless you're okay to lose entire money tomorrow, and वो करना भी है तो you need to put money in all of the ones कि कोई तो बढ़ जाए, अगर वो play करना भी है उस तरह से. If not, what I would do, my strategic approach would be, first, wait for reduction in cost. Second, have a better regulatory framework. Third, a little bit of ambiguity from the government side should be cleared. Then I would like to start trading into cryptocurrencies, whichever, probably in the class A zones, knowing कि मेरा profit and loss ratio क्या आएगा, something we discussed in the master class not so long ago, कि my risk return ratio क्या है and what is my probability, and once everything falls into line to at least theoretically give me a profit, then I would trade in it. That is what my approach is going to be. And I forgot your last question.
No, I had two questions only. तीसरा तो मैं आपके बारे में बता रहा था, recommend कर रहा था.
Very kind of you. Thank you so much for that.
So one more person, Dhruv, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Hi, Dhruv.
Okay. Hi. Arpit, I just wanted to understand, you see, with all of these cryptos coming in, and like you rightly said that there is no intrinsic value of these currencies. What stops them from another crypto coming in? Like, I know of somebody, we have a property in Gurgaon, he's hired a floor there and they are now telling us that they want to start their own crypto. So what is the barrier to entry into this?
There are none.
There are none.
So many
So,
memes.
yeah. So then how is this even an asset class? Tomorrow I only say that I want to start something. I take away everybody's money and I vanish.
And that's
What's the security?
There is none. Anyone can start a company and list their company on the exchange after a certain point. यहाँ पे उतने regulations नहीं है.
Yeah.
You can start a coin and have it listed.
So then does it even make sense to invest into these small currencies, the small meme coins as you call it?
That's a no-no, big, very hard no-no. Because of two such cases we've already seen of them becoming zero. Regulatory framework is not there. Intrinsic value is not there. So, and you can't even check the integrity. There is no management. There is no committee. How would you know? And now there is so much competition amongst these as well.
Yes. So
Okay.
like you were currently saying, in short, right now, is it a good time to even explore investing into these, or probably have some better regulations coming in before people start putting in money?
So personally, I would wait and I would trade. I would wait for the fees to come down. I would wait for a little bit of more regulatory framework to come into picture, at least semi-regulated, if not fully. Because irrespective of how much money I've made, if I cannot cash out this money and realize the money, it's still going to be a loss. Irrespective mera coin kitna bhi बढ़ गया, doesn't matter. Bottom line is still money made out of it. If that, the integrity of that is not there, it's like betting on one man, one person, or one small institute give you that. It's not a chance I am willing to take. I'll wait and then trade.
And okay, so you're saying only wait and trade, or right now, if you want to say, it's more of gamble than trade also.
Right now it's pure speculative कि हाँ यहाँ से price बढ़ेगा and everyone's talking, और बढ़ा भी है. That is the reason there is so much optimism and euphoria. So we, like Warren Buffett says, no, you cannot drive a car looking at the rear view mirror. So you cannot expect the same returns that have happened in the past to come in the future too.
Yeah, but he talks about his rule also, na? Rule number 1 and rule number 2.
वहीं पे
So
बात
वही बात खत्म हो जाती है, आगे आती नहीं बात फिर तो.
exactly. So this is why he doesn't invest, nor does he promote, because he also looks at intrinsic value. In fact, he's so extreme on intrinsic value, he does not even buy gold. He will buy a company who will mine gold, but he will not buy gold himself. But that's Warren Buffett, and that's where I differ with him.
So guys, I have some more questions coming in from participants. If you're finished, should I proceed?
Yes, yes, sir. मैं तो सर मतलब now he अर्पित जी saying आपको टेक्नोलॉजी आती है, आप एक छोटी माइनिंग कंपनी ये बिटकॉइन अपनी करेंसी लॉन्च करो.
आपको पता है कि हम माइनिंग कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं?
माइनिंग नहीं, मतलब अब तो करेंसी लॉन्च कर दी है, माइनिंग तो छोटी बातें हैं.
By the way, we do set up very large servers known as GPU computing servers, which actually use the graphic processing unit to Bitcoin to mine these servers, mine these Bitcoins. Although we are not doing it for ourselves, but we have several clients who are doing it in a very big way. Okay.
Sir, I am telling you, we have a property in Gurgaon which has been hired by somebody, and when I asked the broker कि ये
Yes.
काम क्या करेंगे, and they said ये currency launch करेंगे.
हाँ.
And that is when I decided कि यार ये
तो फिर उनसे हमें मिलवाओ, maybe they need IT infrastructure support from us then.
फिर मैंने कहा प्रॉपर्टी तो हाँ वो for that yes, but currency खरीदने के लिए नहीं.
Right.
मतलब बैरियर ऑफ एंट्री नहीं है ना कोई.
हाँ, राइट. अच्छा, एक और चीज, ये बैरियर टू एंट्री भी आ जाएंगे जैसा मुझे लगता है, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट विल ट्राई टू कंट्रोल. देखिए, इट्स ओनली एन इवेंट अवे. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इफ देयर इज अ सर्टेन इवेंट वेयर दे कैन इमीडिएटली रिलेटेड टू बिटकॉइन, कि कल को कोई टेररिस्ट इंसिडेंट्स हो गया जिसमें कि बिटकॉइन को यूज किया गया, उसी दिन बैरियर खड़े हो जाएंगे. सो इट इज ओनली अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम, राइट? जैसे यूएस के अंदर अटैक हुआ था प्लेन्स वाला, इमीडिएटली जो भी सिक्योरिटी एजेंसीज का, जो एयरपोर्ट सिक्योरिटी का काम करने का तरीका, इवन होटल्स का, देखिए 26/11 के बाद में आप देख रहे हैं कि होटल की एंट्री एग्जिट अब पूरे उसके लिए बदल गई अक्रॉस इंडिया, राइट? So another thing is that like Sunil has mentioned ki lot of people are nowadays adding us to different groups, trading on actually recommending purchasing Bitcoins and all. And I think everyone has experienced that. Is it only a few of us, or has most of us experienced that? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
I'm experiencing it almost every week. Naya group, unknown people, block.
Yeah. So Arpit, so basically to me, of course, it sounds like a fraud straight away if someone adds me like that. What are your views on this?
I believe they must be doing affiliate marketing inside it. They must have got a commission link on the sign up. So this must be the mechanism, and it's obviously Not that the cryptocurrency would do anything or not, but the matter they would be making a money or
Oh, sorry, Arpit, I muted you. Actually, there was some disturbance coming in. So, okay, not allow people to unmute for now. You can raise your hand if you like me to unmute.
yes. So what I was saying was that I think unke liye it would be more of a commission that they would make once you sign up or you invest, more than the currency जो भी वो करेगी in itself.
And I think basically they just want to take advantage कि अभी buzz है cryptocurrency में,
This is the
है,
moment.
तो उसका just एक advantage लेने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं लोग, right?
Yes.
तो बस एक और उसके अंदर genuinity होने के chances नहीं है.
There's a
कई लोगों
possibility.
का question है, कई लोगों का question है, please share some views on platform like Coin, DCX, Kuber.
So
etc.
all of these we spoke. I said ki even the biggest one is not very stable right now, the WazirX platform, because it showed a lot of cracks the last time massive volatility came in Bitcoin. अभी तो सिर्फ 50% ही गिरा था, तो ये हाल हो गया. तो I don't know अगर कोई massive कोई चीज होती है, it could be that you might not be able to sell out when you want. अब तब क्या करोगे? अगर सबसे बड़े का ये हाल है तो बाकियों का क्या हाल होगा? So I'm not. There are a lot of steps that have to come into picture before we can say कि this is established thing. So we are nowhere near right now. मेरे लिए सारे platforms are weak as I see it right now.
Okay. So मतलब कि लेकिन फिर भी अगर इसमें बात करें तो ये सबसे बड़े यही हैं, WazirX.
बड़े फिर आप WazirX के पास चले जाओ. अगर आप you want to go for size, then that is the biggest in size.
That is the biggest in size. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Binance has maximum major coins trading on Binance is better, but a desi wallet is required to store money. That is from Deepak. So guys, no more new questions here. Any other questions that you would like to ask, please? So there is someone called Saidulu. Okay, you can unmute yourself. Please go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, sorry. Please, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, Saidulu. Yes.
Hi, Arpit and Sanjeev. Thanks for arranging this session. And Arpit, just I have one question. Like when we are investing in the cryptocurrency, you mentioned that like the platforms, right, WazirX and CoinDesk and ZipPay. So when we are going with one of these things, do we need to maintain the physical wallet or something separately, or is that wallet provided by them is secure?
The wallet is provided by them, but inside the wallet you need to make a choice. Would you like to go for the custodian or non-custodian way? So the custodian way would be that they will further link it with Coinbase, Kraken, or Gemini, which will have a security key for you, a digital security key on their servers to ensure that your holding does not get hacked. If not, you can do it yourself using the non-custodian way, where you can procure your own safety key and hold your holdings in your own safety vault.
So if we are holding in our safety wallet and whenever we want to sell it, we have to transfer to that particular exchange wallet and then we have to sell, or how it will be?
I think the exchange likely will remain the same. I'm not sure if you can switch on exchanges once you shift it into your own key. But irrespective, the holding will be in your with your own self in your own USB.
Yeah, but like, you know, while if let's say we stored in our USB securely, and I would like to sell it, like let's say the market is going up and I would like to sell it, then directly we can sell it, or is there any way that like no, we have to transfer from our wallet to the exchange wallet and then only we can sell it?
I think as it should be plug and play to my understanding. I haven't done it myself.
Okay.
What I understand is it should be a plug and play. You plug it into your system and then the key will validate your authenticity and you should be able to sell.
Okay. Okay. So in all these platforms, whatever you mentioned are offering that this authenticated secure mechanism, or how it is?
So repeat your question again.
No, the platforms, whatever you mentioned, right? Like WazirX and ZipPay and CoinDCX. All these exchanges are providing the secure wallet. Means we have, you mentioned that like we have an option to opt for secure wallet or something else, right? And
So you're saying how authentic are they in providing the wallet to the people who want
yeah,
that option? So I cannot say this by experience, but say this as an outsider that the bigger ones are doing a fair job so far because there have been no cases of people complaining against it. And and you can validate your holding with the Coinbase platform once you have shifted there, which I'm sure people would have done. Else by now, those things would have come up as a fraud. So as an outsider, I can say it looks fine to me.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So we have one question from, some comment from Anshul Maini. So there are bots such as RoyalQ which do the technical analysis for you, execute the trades and charge a commission on the profit made through it. Do you think these are reliable?
So technical, very good question. Technical analysis has been done through bots in the past as well, which was people in the past have tried to set up auto computers which could trade on their behalf, even in the stock exchange, in stocks and other instruments. The technology is the same, it's no different. The problem with that is that the efficacy of technical analysis comes from the judgment of a particular analyst. If you feed in, if this happens, then that happens, if then functions, if you put into that, then you're just hoping what has happened in the past should continue in the future, which is exactly what we were talking about. There is never certainty of that. So your bot can keep on executing and making you unlimited loss while you have no idea. That could be happening, or it could be making you a profit as well. But then that's just hoping on your luck. What has happened in the past should continue to happen in the future. I predominantly, even I don't do my own technical analysis. I have my team do it for me because I know there is someone in my team who is a little better than. If my efficiency is 60 or my accuracy is 60%, I know there is a guy who can do at 80%. Even I would not do my own. So that's the factor. I believe technical analysis still, despite having AI technology, is done manually across the world. There's a technology to do it, but it's not as efficient as someone actually doing it. So your accuracy or your probability would mean exactly money. You don't want to take a chance there.
Right. Okay. Sharad Jain says Success Factory AI-VR company providing investment coin are reliable or not? Success Factory.
Never heard. No idea.
So this would be very difficult to actually.
It's a very growing, unregulated and rapidly changing market, ever evolving. So many things which will be in ambiguity, which is why I said in the middle I will never be able to know all the answers because no one does.
Okay. So again, guys, what I would say is that you should consider, cryptocurrency. Again, the objective is to grow your money, right? And have money work for you. And definitely now you got to know in today's session much more about cryptocurrency. I personally learned a lot. Thanks to Arpit once again for that. And again, consider it just as a part of your portfolio, not the entire money will go into cryptocurrency as of now. And right now, Arpit is not recommending it at all. Okay. Because if he has not invested into it, so, how can he recommend it to us? So right now, the kind of regulation that is there is not clear. Okay. It is there as an investment, and many issues like very high, you can say very high cost, like 5% gets deducted straight in the beginning itself. And then the reliability of where you're actually keeping the Bitcoin, whether with the custodian or even at your own place, is quite challenging right now. Am I right?
Yeah.
These things will become clear, but then again, you can, instead of just gambling, if you do gamble, then you can do it for a limited amount. But otherwise, the best idea is to do a trade. Am I right, Arpit?
Yes.
So keeping it as an investment for a very long period right now may not be a very feasible given the uncertainties related to the platforms itself. Am I right?
Yes.
So all in all, so we have to be watching this before we actually make a very big move. You can definitely test the water and do it with perspective of trading. And if you want to learn more about trading, then do attend Arpit's webinar on financial nirvana, because I think those concepts remain the same. So once again, I put the link for any one of you who has missed. So attend this free webinar on the next Friday, where you can learn more about the investment in general. Okay, for across all asset classes. So you need to learn more about that. And okay, one last question from Nishant Kamble: should we invest in dairy franchise with good location? Okay, this is
For me too.
it's a totally different question. So the forum today was about this thing, but Arpit, can you still take it?
So dairy franchise, I think my knowledge there is very much limited. I think a lot of my clients are into dairy franchise, or they are dairy manufacturers themselves. I think they would be the best people to answer this question.
Okay, right. So even me, I would be a little bit, worried about this question. Although my father-in-law owns Haryana Milk Foods,
Exactly.
is a ghee company, big ghee company. Okay.
So there are people in our contacts where if you want to speak to the manufacturers, Sanjeev has one in their family, one of my clients.
I think better that you can share your email ID, Arpit, and get any queries related to this. If you can help these guys out.
Don't mind. You can.
I will put in Arpit's email ID, guys. ठीक है ना? Arpit बात करके आपको connect करा सकता है. तो मैंने Arpit का डाल दिया.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you once again. Thanks all of you for coming in. And one more thing, especially for my students, guys, I will be doing on this Friday. Okay, not only for my students, for anyone who would like to come in. I'm doing a session this Friday, Tech Fridays. It's at 2:30 p.m. Okay, it's totally free of cost for all of you. And the session will be about building a digital company. So like you have a physical office, how to build a digital office for your company. And I will also be showcasing the supplier management system. So our team has developed a supplier management system. So I'm looking for you to attend and give me feedback, because they'll be launching it very, very soon. So I really look forward to seeing you guys. And let me share very quickly, the link for the same. So guys, this is a complimentary session and you will be learning about some really amazing technologies. So I will just put it in the chat, and please do remember to join this. So I've just put in there, guys. So please, the link again is, okay, let me make it a little bit clickable for you guys. HTTPS, and it is itbx.in/tf, that is Tech Fridays. Okay, you can just click on it. Sorry, इसमें type करना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है because chat box is a bit.
I think you missed the X.
I missed the X, so now I put in the X. So guys, do register for this event. That is on Friday at 2:30 p.m. and I will be showing you all these technologies, how to create a digital office or a ERP and supply chain management. So thank you once again for attending, and let me thank Arpit once again for being so gracious to enlighten all of us about. I think I'm sure that everyone has learned a little bit more. So guys, what are your comments? How did you like the webinar? Did you find it useful? Please leave your comments in the chat. Did you find today's webinar useful? Would you like to see more of such events happen in the future? So that's Abhishek. Thank you. Dr. Juneja, Sharad Jain, Ajish Bhatia. Yes. Okay, these 2 hours invested will save a lot. Okay, great. Excellent. Jamon says expecting more in the future. It was very good. So yeah, okay, Ashok, I will put up the recording on my YouTube channel. And so my YouTube channel, I'll give you the link to my YouTube channel, guys. So it was itbx.in/YT YouTube. Okay. Thank you, Abhilash. Mr. Madan, Rajesh Bhatia, Mr. D, Hari Rajan. Yes. Okay. Excellent, Ashok. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So we'll be closing the session now. Thank you once again for coming, and look forward to seeing you. I will see you on this Friday, and Arpit will see you on next Friday. Right?
Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate all the time that you gave to us today. And I hope this will be instrumental in saving money or time, either ways for you. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next Friday.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye and take care.
Thank you, Sanjeev.
Yeah. Thank you, Arpit.